All right, here we go. I think my headphones look silly. What do you think? Oh, took them off. They gone. What's up, everyone? My name's AJ Wrights Crypto. It is Thursday, December 12th. And, I've got a couple DMs lately. I've had some people from Telegram on my emails and Twitter all say, AJ, come on, dude. You haven't done Rate My Portfolio in a while. It's time. It's time, they say. It's time. And I guess it's time. So we are going to do Rate My Portfolio today. Somebody, Hazel, in the says, what is the super chat amount required, to get a portfolio rating? Well, it doesn't have to be a certain amount. It just has to be a super chat. And that was always the rules early on. And why did I do that way? Why did I do it? Because what you guys don't understand is that my money that I get from YouTube, that is my giveaway fund. I give away, I would say, probably all of the money I do from YouTube, whether that's merch, whether that's Grogger stuff. We do have a new Grogger drop coming pretty soon. It's been a while for that too. We finally got the Telegram group t-shirts originally for the 1 year. Before it was the cutoff, it cut off months ago. But the initial people who bought a year on Telegram also got a t-shirt initially. And it took a minute to get that all situated. We did get those shipped out to you guys. So you guys will be getting those in the mail. I ordered a couple for myself and a couple to give away. It's an exclusive thing, so you can't buy them. It was only for the people that got in. Unless you get them from a giveaway or you got in that window, you will be the only people with that Grogger shirt ever, which is actually pretty cool. I like that exclusivity factor of Get Rich or Get Wrecked. Yeah, so shout out to all the Groggers in the chat. I do appreciate you. Chris K, Karen Harris, Lee F, Crypto Carter, Bam C, Daniel 161, Crypto Stone, Overnight Express, SWFL. Good morning to all of you. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. We do got a lot to talk about today. I got about 100 people in YouTube. We're all pulling in. I had a later start to the day. Got some craziness going on, but hey, it's all good. Also very excited wearing this hoodie because I'm going to see Under Oath tonight in Atlanta. Could not be more excited for that. One of my favorite bands playing one of my favorite albums, start to finish. The album They're Only Chasing Safety. Young and Aspiring, Boy Brush Red, Living in Black and White. All those songs, Down Set Go. I grew up in that scene. I grew up listening to like post-hardcore, metal, pop punk, that whole Warped Tour vibe. That is where my heart still is in music. Of course, I love hip hop. Of course, I love country. I love jazz. I love blues. I listen to all types of music. You have no idea. Certainly an artist at heart, and definitely excited. And I wanted to give a shout out to one of my favorite bands playing one of my favorite albums in one of my favorite cities tonight. So I couldn't be more excited for that. Also, I got a Mario Nafal space today at noon and another space today at 4:30. So definitely come hang out on the Twitter spaces if you'd want to hang out. Definitely looking forward to doing some spaces today. Haven't done them all week yet. I kind of pick and choose when I want to do my spaces these days. Yeah, YouTube does need to do better. That's pretty weird that your alarm didn't go off. Everybody definitely set the bell for notifications, or maybe unclick the bell and click the bell again. Hit the bell twice. I don't know. Figure it out. Yeah, it's weird. It used to do that to Ben too. I don't know if it's like a soft shadow ban or what. But yeah, so let's get into it. We are going to do Rate My Portfolio for anyone who wants a portfolio rating. That does go to the giveaway fund. Definitely keep that in mind. I also have not picked the winners yet I did a Telegram group giveaway. I'm going to pick those winners in the Telegram group today as well. That was connected to the tweet when I did the looper bit, which was pretty cool. So, all right, so let's jump into the show here. I'm rambling. I do that. I ramble. All right, so Bitcoin, I'm still over 100,000. Love to see that. Good sign of strength. The fact that we had that gnarly retest. Let's talk about this really fast. We had a pretty gnarly retest. It could have been a lot gnarlier, in my opinion. It wasn't that bad. But now we're kind of at that point where we hit this local peak, right? And then we come down, we come up. But are we going to higher high, or are we going to start those downtrends? And this is something that I talked about in the video yesterday. If you missed the video yesterday, I highly suggest you check it out, because it's kind of like a 5 charts in 5 minutes. I always just say that's the name of the show. It's never actually 5 minutes, but basically it's kind of about a concept that I like to call a point of intersection. And what is a point of intersection? This is kind of it's not really a common term. I'm sure other people notice this, but it's kind of something I like to claim as my own for calling it that, for calling it a point of intersection, just like something I call my own conditional ranging. That's another term that I kind of coined myself. Guys, I've spent so many thousands of hours on the charts. Of course, I'm going to make names up for stuff, and these are things that make complete sense. This is legitimate stuff. So if you have a macro uptrend, all right, that is lasting, a month or two, let's say 2 months, we got an uptrend, all right, but then we have a local downtrend that is lasting a week. Okay, that point where they meet, I like to call a point of intersection. And why is this important? Because say right now it's December 12th. We could say, okay, let's line this up on the long-term uptrend, short-term downtrend. In 3 days, because the chart will run out of time before the point of intersection, the chart will be forced to either break out of the local downtrend or break down of the macro uptrend. And that's something we can use to react. But it's also just trading trend lines can get you in trouble, which is why I also like to use levels, like either volume weighted support resistance levels. And what do I mean by volume weighted support resistance levels? A volume weighted support resistance level is when the visible range volume profile has either the point of control or a healthy spike from volume is aligned with the support resistance. So that support resistance level is more significant than other support resistance levels because it's aligned with a volume spike. A striated support resistance level is where if there's a low volume node, there's like heavy volume here and heavy volume here, and there's nothing in between, generally where price likes to rip up quickly or fall down quickly, and there's a support resistance line in the middle of those two volume spikes. That's what I refer to as a striated support resistance level, because it's striated in between the low volume node. So these are all just kind of terms, things that I say out loud that are not things you can Google. These are like just my interpretation of charts. And like I said, I spend so many thousand hours trading, so many thousands of hours, doing technical analysis, that I kind of make stuff up that makes sense to me, that actually does work when you really test it on the charts as well. So I think it is important that I always say this to people, especially people trying to take CryptoFeast falling asleep on his live chat. Dumbass. I love CryptoFace. But this is definitely when you put this kind of time in, you gain that confidence and you really develop your own strategy. And I really think that's something I've been nailing home to the Telegram group, because guys, like, I think the problem with crypto is some people think that crypto is just something you can just do. Oh, I'm just going to learn to leverage trade and make all this money. Like, okay, I love the idea, but pump the brakes, because this is a skill set, just like skateboarding is a skill set. Like, you're not going to just, oh, I want to skateboard. You know what I mean? Like, you got to put thousands of hours into skateboarding to learn how to do a kickflip. You know what I'm saying? So I think people need to look at trading and hours logged doing TA and hours logged in trades to really kind of gain that confidence. And this is something that I have certainly paid my dues. And it's something that I want to help people manage expectations, help people not even manage expectations, but help people like, hey man, you're not going to make $1 million overnight. But if you put a couple years in, I almost think that it's okay to have the conversation that, check it out, this is your first bull run, right? All right, well, let's not lose our minds here if you don't become a millionaire this time, because the 4-year cycle is the 4-year cycle, and you could get into crypto this cycle. You could maybe make a couple $100,000 this cycle, or whatever, a reasonable amount of money for this cycle. But then you could kind of get into crypto to the point where it's a lifestyle, because that's certainly what it is. This isn't something you can just passively do if you want to make that kind of quit your job type money. if you want to make quit your job type money, crypto needs to become your job in some way, shape, or form. And ultimately, what I'm saying is that I've already had some pretty pragmatic conversations with some Platinum Telegram members about how they're saying, hey, I think now is a great time to cash in on the bull run, to make some money, and to learn how to start trading. But if I put my time in consistently throughout the next 5 years, I could do good this time, really get it down, and next bull run become a millionaire. And guys, that's the most someone told that to me. Someone said that to me. This is not my idea. And I was like, damn, like that's actually like you're really thinking down the street. And that's completely true. Like 2017, 2018. I mean, I made some money in crypto. That was probably the first time I ever had like $80,000 all at once. You know what I mean? What did I do? I pissed it directly against the wall. I was a punk ass kid. I never had that kind of money before, ever. You know what I mean? And then that was kind of my intro to crypto. And then 2021, I did pretty damn good. Not as good as I should have done, but I still did pretty damn good. And then from that run to now is where a lot of my legwork was done, from my writing job with BitBoy, or just studying on my own, or just, kind of, taking all these thousands of hours reading and putting time into crypto. And guys, it's taken a while. It took what felt like to me a long time to become a millionaire. It's not easy, but it's one of those things that I just want people to be aware of, the idea that, hey, slow down a little bit. Why don't we focus more on what you can do today to get 1% better, instead of wasting today stressing about how far behind you are? What would you rather do? Spend your day being overwhelmed because you're not in the situation you want to be, or are you going to spend your day just getting 1% better? Because if you could get a full percent better every single day in 100 days, you're a new person. All right. So I do just kind of want to have those kind of conversations sometimes. It ain't easy. It's there. If you want to get into crypto because it's your easy ticket out, wrong industry. This ain't it. This is not as easy as it looks. It's really not. Some people say, oh, I want to become a day trader. I want to become a professional leverage trader. You can say that out loud, but saying it and doing it are two completely different things. So one day at a time, ladies and gentlemen. EduVid says, I'm not a good trader, but I've made some money, made some awesome long-term picks thanks to the show. And hey, man, that's great. And I think that's really important to acknowledge that, EduVids, because I think there are some people in my personal life who have seen my success and have kind of put their arm around me. Come on, man, teach me how to leverage trade. I want to make a couple $100,000 this month. And I look at them and I'm like, hey, I don't think you're the kind of person that should be leverage trading. I don't think it's for you, man. Like, I don't think who I'm talking about, not going to throw anyone under the bus, but some people don't have the emotional maturity or the grasp on reality. The ability to be honest with yourself is probably step number one here. It's not for everyone, man. You don't have to be a leverage trader to be successful in crypto. If you could double, triple, 4x, 5x your money over time through crypto and hodling, and you kind of look at it from a zoomed out lens, you're not worried about the significant pumps, just the kind of the A to B, regardless of the treachery along the way. That's okay. That's okay. I had a friend who, a couple months ago, he was like, hey man, I want to buy, I got 20 grand. I got 20 grand. What should I buy? I was like, well, I sent him a portfolio video of one of the portfolios I built. And he recently just cashed out the other day. He made $18,000. And he said, hey man, like, I know the bull runs, it's probably going to keep going and everything. But the way I see it, we had a conversation. I put in 20 grand. I made 18 grand. I'm fine with that. That's great. I'm going to put this towards my car payment. I'm going to put this towards, my mortgage, whatever. That's okay too. It doesn't, I think some people just kind of look through it through this lens of like, this has to be my ticket. This has to be. And and for those people who want to take it to the next level, I know that was me. 100% that was me. I needed crypto. I needed this industry more than anything. I knew early that this was my calling for a few different reasons I'm not really going to get into. But ultimately, it comes down to this. If you're willing to put in the work, if you want it more than everyone else, and you're the kind of person that can put your headphones in and plug in 3 to 4 or more hours a day, every day, not just like you're obsessed for a week and you drop it, but you get obsessed for a week and that becomes 3 years. Those are the kind of people that have the mental endurance to really push through and become full-time crypto people. It's not easy, guys. And I don't want to turn people away. I don't want it to tell you can't do it. You can do it. You definitely can, but you definitely have to put the work in. There is no cheating. The cream will invariably rise to the top in crypto. And if you just want to buy and hold, that's fine. That's probably a lot safer. You'll save yourself a lot of headache. But nothing wrong at all with having an honest conversation with yourself, So I do appreciate all the positive sentiment in the chat. This community, man, I really got a lot of love for you guys. You guys really make my days so much better than you understand. We got about 200 people in YouTube, bunch of people at Twitter. Thanks for being here. Smash the like button, become a member, subscribe to the channel, all the things. Ring that bell for notifications, chat. All right, so let's keep it going here. I want to start screenshotting some of the portfolios I see rolling in. I see Genre G here. I feel like I've been mispronouncing this chat's name for probably like 50 years, but I promise I'll get it eventually. We will do rate my portfolio at the end of the show, probably for the last 20 minutes or so. But I do have a handful of things I want to get through here. Jason Owens in the chat. This is my ticket for sure, but I can appreciate people taking early wins. Hey, shout out to Jason Owen, man. That's a guy who has been in my chat since the very beginning. It's a guy I met at a conference, the kind of guy that will go to a crypto conference and put his hand out and say, "Hey, man, my name's Jason. How you doing?" That's what it takes. You definitely need to be someone that's consistent. You need to be someone that is willing to travel and go to conferences to find your people, to meet like-minded folks. And that's where the doors of opportunity generally open, at conferences where everyone is. Being a lone wolf, doing it alone without doing that is much harder than getting solid connections in the space. And hey, my guy Jason Owen also drives a pretty sweet Cybertruck. So, dude, good on you, man. I'm super excited to see, how far you've come in the short time I've known you. So, that's badass, man. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Jack Falzard, I've been researching every day for 5 years. I love that. That's what it takes, man. Hell yeah. Yes, I see people asking about the emails. Sometimes we get a couple days behind on the emails. Please appreciate, things take time. If we got back to you and then it's been a couple days, please be patient. We will get back to you. We are kind of sorting out the who does what thing. I have officially hired Goody. Goody was working with me before. He took a break. He had to get his stuff together. He's coming back. I'm so happy he's coming back. He's a great help, really good dude. And he's my, Jada's like kind of like my ride or die partner no matter what. She helps me with everything. But Goody is like my first full-time employee outside of a handful of editors. Diamond Hands is basically my editor. But sometimes I do videos where I run and gun and I don't need an editor. So sometimes he's really busy and sometimes he doesn't do anything for a couple weeks, and I feel bad for that. So as we kind of push through, get into 25, I do want to kind of get him on like a weekly thing. So he has income no matter what. But it's also, it's been really hectic with that consistency for videos outside of live streams that require editing and require scripts and everything, because with writing my trading course that I have talked to Gareth Soloway and his team, I will be filming the trading course the week before UFC 311. The second week of January, I will be in Florida filming the course. So that has really eaten into my bandwidth for writing video scripts at the moment, which is why a lot of the videos that you'll watch on the channel probably for the next couple of weeks will just be, either like phone records or portfolio updates or, kind of TA on the spot type videos. And that's okay. Not every video has to be a fully hashed out, perfectly written script, perfectly edited. Like, I really focused on that at first very early in this channel and realized that I am only one person and that I cannot do a live stream, write a script, film the script, edit it myself, make the thumbnail, and do that every day. So realizing you're one person is super important as a YouTuber, because also, guys, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a content creator, I'm a KOL influencer, but I'm also a day trader. So it's also like, it's hard to the great balancing act, ladies and gentlemen, one day at a time. But I'm certainly excited to build my team out a little bit, and to have some more help and be able to make better content for you guys. So that's really what it comes down to. Dominic, hey, AJ, would you say the Telegram is good for learning how to read charts and analysis? Dominic, why don't you ask some of the people in the chat here that are also in the Telegram group? You know what I'll say about the Telegram group, Dominic? Is that right now we're almost at 300 people in the Telegram group. 300 people who have all paid to be in this group. And of course, I don't want to do a group for free, because if you pay for something, you invest in something, you're going to make sure you check it every day. You're going to make sure you follow these charts, you do this thing. If you play a game of poker with your friends and there's no stakes, everyone will just go all in every hand. They don't care. It's just, but if you put $5 on the table, everyone gets real serious, because there's money on the line. There's stakes involved. And when that heightens your attention, and that is crucial in crypto, in my opinion. You have no idea how many Telegram groups I've paid for before I made my own group, before I made my own YouTube channel. I've been in everyone else's Telegram group, and I made the Telegram group that I wish I had when I started. That's what I did. And I kind of took a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here. I don't want that. And I made what I wish I had. And also, so to finish my thought, Dominic, so there's almost 300 traders in the group right now. When we did the Black Friday deal, did you know, Dominic, that over half of the group that was already there, over half of them extended their current subscription with the Black Friday discount? What does that tell you? Over half of the people already in the group extended their memberships for a year in the Black Friday window. That tells you that they are getting value from the group, that they want to stay in the group for another year. It was a lot, that Black Friday deal was a lot more of people already in the group extending. There were obviously new people who came, but it was more of people who were already in extending. That was the biggest pat on my back I've probably had all year. That was the biggest, like, AJ, you're doing right. You're doing this good. You're nailing this, actually. I love this community, guys. I love you guys. For real. I put a lot of work into it. So I hope that answers your question. All righty. Algorand is kind of dumping today. We could certainly check out some charts here. All right. So and if you're waiting for your email to get responded to, or you paid and you're not in yet, that will all be taken care of. Please be patient. I'm sorry for any inconvenience. It takes time, ladies and gentlemen. It takes time. A lot of emails. All right. Where were we? Let's just go straight to gainers and losers. I have a couple charts already picked out that I want to talk about today. Top 100. All right. Aave. Whoa. Slow down there, DeFi. Yeah, Hyperliquid, Lido DAO, Aave, 20% winners. Sui, 468, waking up. Chainlink, Shout out to the Link Marines. I've always liked Chainlink. Always have, always will. Optimism. I love Optimism. I have a whole bag of Optimism and Avalanche myself. And guys, these are things kind of just waking up. I'm not sure how many of these pumps are coins putting in higher highs. And I think that is important to point out. I know I could at least look at a couple of these charts. I know VeChain woke up a little bit as well. Big shout out to the VFam. In the loser side, we have Quant. Well, maybe they should learn how to market. They have Algorand, and guys, Algorand at 43 cents is still insane. It did hit like 60 cents for a minute there, but guys, a month ago, Algorand was 12 cents. I'm not mad that Algorand's down a little bit while other things are in the green. I mean, HBAR also 30 cents as well, but you have to realize that Algorand and HBAR outperformed just about everything over here outside of SWE. Top to bottom, Algorand and HBAR outperformed everything here, top to bottom, except for SWE. So yeah, what do you want from me? You know what I mean? So let me get a screenshot of this bad boy here. Blah, 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 blah. Snap, snap, snap. All right. So really what I want to do really fast, I want to go over a handful of charts and then we'll talk portfolios. Well, let's take a quick look at some of the updates from yesterday's video when we talked about the point of intersection. What does that mean? So we have this yellow downtrend here, okay, on the Solana chart, and this yellow uptrend here. All right, so let's look at the math on this, right? So the uptrend really, I mean, connecting these dots started, back in October. The very bottom was for here, but it wouldn't really make much sense to draw it like that now, would it? I mean, you could, and you can draw multiple uptrends if you'd like to. I used to be honest, to see, if you connect this, it goes this way, connect this, it goes that way, kind of thing. And also some people actually kind of have like a curve theory, like something like that. But that kind of gets messy when things start to break down, and breakouts are really hard to detect in that case as well. But for here, we connected these main 2 points here to get our uptrend angle. All right. And here is the ultimate angle of this uptrend, staying inside of the downtrend. Okay. Solana could actually fall to $195 and technically still be in an uptrend. Solana could fall to here and technically still be in an uptrend. All right. So the point of intersection is where the top of the downtrend connects with the uptrend. This point right here, this is the point of intersection. This is Friday, January 3rd. So a couple weeks out for this one. This is a larger time frame, 2-hour chart. But so by January 3rd, Solana will either break out of the downtrend or break down from the uptrend. It's more likely to break out than down, in my opinion, because this has been going on for longer, if that makes sense. All right. So basically, anytime we're in a confirmed downtrend like this, right, it's hard to go long in a local downtrend. I mean, you have a couple scalps, right? But that's just what they are, scalps. If you are longing in a downtrend, in a local downtrend like this, it is a scalp trade. It could become a swing trade if you long the impulse push up that actually ends up in being a breakout. But those are very few and far between. And so why are these white support resistance levels here? Well, these support resistance levels are I would say this one's a fairly striated level. This one's kind of more connected to the volume here. Regardless of the form of support resistance, these levels are more for confirmation, because it's really difficult to trade the break of a down or uptrend itself. Like say, this thing comes down and then it hits this alarm. We have this alarm set. Don't we want to trade alarms? And then guess what? It just comes back down. That happens. That happens all the time, especially when you kind of look into the confluence of, each test here, like this test right here. All right. So let's look at, so right here, the alarm got hit, right? Now let's come straight down. Where were we on the oscillator? Oh, you guys can't see that. 1 second. All right, so right here, let's come straight down the oscillator. Right here on the oscillator, does this look like a strong push on the oscillator to you? This kind of anchor wave, trigger wave, all small little impulse push ups in the oscillator while we're red in the money flow. That doesn't really look like a breakout oscillator to me. When you look at this point of the chart and this point of the oscillator, confluence. All right, let's do it again. Where right here, where the alarm would have got hit right here. All right, now let's look straight down where the oscillator is when that happened. Right here, the RSIs are at the top, but as you can see, they changed color, pushing down the RSIs on Market Cipher. Still fairly in the red, little bit of bullish VWAP, little bit of green, but ultimately a kind of a less than significant oscillator. And Market Cipher does some of the homework for you, because you see these lines right here, like these lines going this way in the background there on Market Cipher. That kind of helps you detect the size, the strength of any given impulse wave on the oscillator. You see how right here, like these lines down here, and how far this came out. The bigger the push down, normally the bigger the push up, and a lot of times the bigger the push up, the bigger the swing is going to be. Think like Newton's laws of gravity kind of thing. And ultimately, when you're looking at, so say if we were breaking an uptrend here on an oscillator, all right, or actually let me do that again. If we were breaking an uptrend while the oscillator was here, after coming through an impulse wave that went this far down, and we were changing green right here, this would be a point where if an alarm goes off and the oscillator's here, okay, we can have that conversation of that being a breakout, a trend line breakout, where the oscillator is looks like this could have more juice in the tank. But if we're having a trend line breakout and the oscillator is here already at the top in the red, that's kind of the stuff that you can't just jump into every trade just because the alarm goes off. You really want to do the math on how strong the surroundings are. And this is also, finally, to conclude my point, is why we use trend lines for confirmation. Because, say this here comes up, this alarm goes off. Well, sure, it could come up here and go like this. It could come up here, test this, but basically my point is that if we're going to trade this breakout, it's a safer trade to go from the confirmation level, even if you're giving up this 3.7%. It's a riskier trade to go from the trend line, and you might give up a few percentage points, but it's a safer trade to go from the confirmation of the breakout. I don't know how many more times I can say that to the group, but that is a very important concept. And guys, we do have to kind of assume that we're in this local downtrend Solana, that it's going to do this again until it breaks. We are in a downtrend until we're not. I can't say that enough. Hopefully it breaks out. Pray to God it breaks out. This support resistance level on Solana is very big at 204.7. We want to see Solana hold this level no matter what. Ultimately, we want to see this macro uptrend respected that we've talked about, but we're in a downtrend until we're not. Don't forget that. I don't know how many of these portfolios went. I think I got Eric's. Let me screenshot these bad boys really quick. I will quickly run through a handful of more charts, and then I will look at Algorand. I know someone in the chat wanted to see Algorand. I know it's fallen a little bit today. Let me get these screenshots here. Let me see how many portfolio screenshots I already have. Photos. Okay, I did take Eric's picture twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we got 5. I will do one more after Lewis B, and then I got to call it quits. So you get one more super chat after Lewis, but after Lewis, I got to draw the line because I do have a space today in 35 minutes. All right, so XRP, same type of situation, right? So, and also look at this kind of the confluence on the oscillator here, guys. This is not good. Look at this. See this? Trend lines and patterns work on oscillators just like they work on charts. Look at this. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Here's the tip of that point. Now, what does this look like when we go to the chart? Huh. Interesting. So here's the head and shoulders on the oscillator. And this is what happened on the chart. just like it would be a candle, right? Patterns and trend lines are just as important on oscillators as they are on the candles. Don't let anyone tell you different. Don't let anyone tell you different. This shit matters just as much. TNet sending in. All right, I'm drawing the line after TNet. No more super chats. If you send a super chat after TNet, I will not do your portfolio today, but if you do, I will save it and do it another time. I gave the announcement. All right. But with XRP here, similar situation. We have this uptrend. We kind of wicked below it. Nothing crazy, right? And we have a local downtrend. Here we are. So we are in a downtrend until we're not. It is good to see a green dot here on the 2-hour. Bullish on that. But the point of intersection here is December 16th. So guys, in 4 days on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, XRP will either have already broken out or broken down. You know this. And look, from say it breaks out here, the confirmation level is right here at 267. So we're not giving too much up on confirmation. And we already have our target up here. Let me get my measuring stick. We already have our target up here at 292, about a 9% target back to local high. And if the confirmation level on the downside, this line here, say we break down, click this line at 221.2, we have the 200 EMA is about 4 or 3% down the hill, and the next target, which is a volume weighted support resistance level at 188, is 14.5% down the hill as well. This does, I want to say it on the 2-hour, this does look like a bearish oscillator. We kind of got the anchor wave, trigger wave, trigger wave, trigger wave, or you could just draw it like this: anchor wave, trigger, however you want it to skin that cat. There it is. Doesn't look like the best oscillator. No, it doesn't mean that it's doomed, but I don't really like the setup going into where we are now. Also, given the strength of this oscillator, so when we see oscillators like this, and this is something I should talk about more, but when you kind of see these weak oscillations here, it's very rare for this thing to just continue up from here in a big way. It happens, but not all the time. It's more likely for this to come down to some point. Maybe there will be a bigger retest. Maybe it'll do a couple of these, but we're looking for the big spike up. And although, like, for instance, let's look at this. You see these big spikes, right? Actually, these two, right? Oh, come on. Work with me here. Trying to teach you a lesson. These two right here is kind of what you're looking for. These two right here. This one's slightly bigger. And then we kind of had this, the lower one in there. But this one was very strong, very large. And this was actually the bigger push, the pretty serious push, not the bigger push. I misspoke. But you see how this from here to here kind of really carried up in that oscillator, very even movement here. And then, of course, the price went higher as the oscillator went higher. But also notice that on the oscillator where XRP got here and then did not fall, it held that line. Notice how the oscillator did not come down. It stayed above the 50 line, which is really important for continuation. This is some trade stuff right here. And then the next move up obviously was an even bigger one that went up higher, because that took us to what? This not the local top, but it actually took us to right here. This big push which took us to right here. And then although the price went higher, the next step on the oscillator, let me clean some of the oscillator up while I'm talking about this. The next step on the oscillator was actually smaller. So, oops. I just done goofed. Let me do that. All right. So this point of the oscillator here was actually the highest high for XRP. All right. And let me leave that circled there, right? So you see how, let me kind of spread this out. So we're just focusing on this main. All right, so you see right here. That's the oscillator compared to the price. And you see how the oscillator was higher up here? All right. And then it was lower here and higher here. That is what I'm saying when I say bearish divergence. That's a divergence. The price went up as the oscillator trended down. That is often a sight to see when we are seeing a reversal pattern, when the chart will shift direction. And ultimately that bearish divergence might have been the local top. I think at least the top for December. Yeah, that's where we are right now. And then as you can see, each oscillator coming after it getting weaker and weaker as the price, kind of falls into the doldrums of a downtrend. You can kind of see my point why I say, hey guys, we're in a downtrend until we're not. Basically with XRP, unless you are scalping on a small time frame strategy, the big point here is to wait for the break of this uptrend, the break of the downtrend paired with a confirmation. Without these two alarms, I'm not fucking touching XRP with a stick. It's in a downtrend until it's not. I'm going to react to the market while the dumb money chases it around like a chicken with their head cut off. VeChain overview, same thing, uptrend, but local downtrend, and it's fighting. It's right there. But this is why these levels and these trends are so important, because it's still below. Although it hit this, that doesn't mean much. That doesn't mean much at all. I actually don't mind where the oscillator was. And last night when I said this, I wasn't really hating the idea of like a scalp VeChain long, like from here to here. It's gone up like 5%, 7% in the past day because of the oscillator formation kind of pushing red. And it looks like the red might disappear here, but we're also at the top of this momentum wave, and that kind of makes me postulate that we could come down and hopefully avoid the 50 line and continue, but that's not guaranteed. But at the end of the day, we're in this downtrend until we're not, and we want to get out of this before we break down from here, because losing this would be a break of structure. So ultimately what I'm saying here, guys, is when this happens, let's go just candles here. All right, when this happens and you kind of get these false alarms, like, although to be fair, if you were just trading the level itself, that was still a 4% trade. That's not like a failed trade. In my eyes, that's a 4% trade. You could have won 2%, 3% there, 1% there. That's not a failed alarm, in my opinion. That was a win, in my opinion, based off how crafty you are, because this is a tough condition to trade in. It's that simple. But when you see this scenario where you come down, you come up to the top of a downtrend, you kind of break it and then you fall out, do you know what you do here? You alarm that local high right there, and a lot of times that ends up being another support resistance level. And imagine that, look, perfectly lines up to this low. So when you're unsure and something kisses a level that is a breakout and then turns around, instead of jumping into the trade, alarm that local high. Because if by the time it gets to here, that looks like much more of a breakout than the kiss of the level, doesn't it? You get my point. And to be fair, even when you really zoom into this, only the wicks got above that line. It's very interesting setup there, but that's how you navigate that moving forward. Alarm the local high from the kiss out of the downtrend. That's the best way to remedy that situation. The graph, very similar type situation. The graph, has this downtrend here, this uptrend here, has kind of gotten out of the downtrend, and of course it fought at this level, not much, 1% up. Kind of a false alarm. Let's check the oscillator. Yeah. So when the graph put in this high here outside of the alarm, look at the oscillator right here. So we already got like a bearish divergence. This literally happened on the wave of a bearish divergence. And you see the blah, 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 that's not good. And then right here, blah, 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 that's not good. So the graph might skate this line a little bit, but this doesn't look very strong to me in terms of like big continuation. Yeah, guys, I don't want to say this and of course react to the market. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to make any crazy moves until I'm reacting, but based off of all the altcoins I just looked at, unless some massive injection happens in like the next day, this doesn't look very good. I think that right now people are feeling a little bit better because even looking at the graph as an example, we had this big dip, right? And we caught this up and people are feeling a little bit better. The sentiment's not totally dead. Got 22% of it back. Guys, I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of these. Are we going to put in a lower low? That's a different question. I think, you could set one here at 238. You could set one here at the wick low at 2301. Maybe it could be a double bottom type situation, possibly. That would be our best hope. But this doesn't feel or look like a setup leading into another massive push to break higher high upside. That's what it looks like to me. I've been wrong before. I'm okay with being wrong again. But even when you come to the 2 hour, the graph was a smaller time frame chart from yesterday. As you can see, we are heavy into the red, and where we are here, we are actually at the top of a momentum wave on the 2 hour starting to push down. And this, kind of bullish divergence here carried us up. And now we're kind of at the top, but in the red. And we know that this level has been, a type of value area for the graph around 22 to 25 cents. I obviously want to see things continue. I want to be wrong here. I want to see this thing bounce and continue. And of course, none of the alarms have gone off yet. But this is not really exactly what I wanted to see when I did this investigation today. Let's quickly look at Algorand and hit some portfolios here. Wrong Algorand chart. You guys can't see that one. Yeah, this is one I can show you. It's not the Telegram one. Let me clean it. I know you can't see it yet. I'm cleaning it up a little bit. All right, and I think Algorand might be kind of leading this trend, where I think a lot of coins like the graph and all are kind of here right now. I think the Algorand's already kind of starting to bleed a little bit. We did have some conditional range levels here. This was a Telegram chart, but not the Telegram chart. This one was kind of more for a specific trade. But when you kind of draw the uptrend, I'd kind of draw it like that at this point, right? All right, so we kind of have this downtrend in here. Okay, so Algorand is still not broken down out of the uptrend up. That point of intersection, let me do this correctly, would be December 16th, which would be Monday. We will either see Algorand break out or break down. Hopefully it breaks out. But for the next, couple, at least for the next day, with the 2 hour chart already starting to push down, with it still moving through the 50, with the RSI still at the top. I do want to see a MACD on this really quick. MACD. And then I'll run a normal RSI as well. So for MACD 2 hour, just now getting the signal line, the MACD going below the signal line. So we just got a MACD cross on Algorand. Not good. And RSI. So I would say on the RSI, it's important to find the 50 line for continuation, but I would say the 50 line on Algorand is actually here. Some charts kind of make their own 50 line. And that would be around 41.9, about 42. I'd be upset if Algorand loses 42 on the RSI. I'm actually going to alarm that myself. Alarm. Only once. All right. So we have in a level, because see how Algorand has bounced here on the RSI for continuation. Now let's look back on the chart where that was. And that, of course, is why as it was going up the street, right? So that's like the continuation level for Algorand on the RSI. You see that, right? So sometimes some coins, some charts create their own 50 line. It doesn't have to be the 50 line, but where it bounces from time and time again, that, you know, it made its own. So ultimately, it doesn't look very bullish for the next little while. Even on like smaller time frames, it kind of just feels like we might bleed out a little bit. But of course, you know, we do have our level set. For Algorand, I would say losing 0.404 is like the no level. Let's not lose that level. All right, cool beans. Let's run into these portfolios here. Mr. L, I'm gonna have to get you another day, man. You sent it yours after TNet. I mean, if I have time at the very end, I will do it, but I have to kind of honor what I said there. Let me get into my photos and move these over to me. All right, 1 second. I just got to set this up. Hold on. Everybody, of course, thank you all for being here. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all of the things that you guys do to keep this channel going. Very simple click for you, a very big deal for us YouTubers here. Without your help, without you guys, you know, having our backs, you know, this doesn't happen. So I do just want to, you know, thank you all for your time and, you know, and your dedication every day. I know, you know, doing the same thing every day, it's not always easy, but guys, this is a grind. This is a part of it. I you know, very early on, you know, I found my YouTubers in crypto that really were instrumental in helping me with my journey. There are, you know, some of them obviously are better than others. Some of them were focused on different things. Some of them, there's someone out there for everybody. And I just, you know, my goal, I don't really care about being the world's biggest influencer. I just want to be, you know, the best version of myself. And I want to help as many people as I can. And that's really all I can ask for. And then, of course, for those of you out there who are groggers, who are in this community, who do find success, you know, I hope you, you know, kind of replicate what I'm doing and keep what you have by giving it away. And that's honestly all we could ever ask for at the end of the day. So here we go. Rate my portfolio. Genre G, I'm going to do these pretty quickly. So, you know, 80K total. H bar 25, Algo 13, Ondo 12, Graph 9, Link 9, Bet 9, Jasmine 7, Bitcoin 6, ENF 5, GFI 2. Goal is 200K. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's going to happen. So let me give a quick overview here. Rate My Portfolio is a segment I do for anyone who doesn't know, where I give a score to a portfolio based off a scale of -5 to 100. And there's a reason that -5 is there. So what it matters here is not how good his coin selection is not his distribution. Those things will affect your score, but ultimately your score is judged by me based off the likelihood of you achieving your goal. So even if you have shit distribution, even if you have a shit coin selection, if I think that portfolio will still get you to your goal, you get a good score, because it's not a, you know, it's about the likelihood of you achieving your goal. I can't say that enough. We got a $10 super chat from Tristan Gage. What's up, AJ? I don't know if you remember. I was the one that went all on an H bar 30,000. My average cost ended up going all the way to 0.6 cents. So I'm so happy I took the risk of going all in. Hey man, that does work, bro. And I'm glad that you made that money. That's fucking awesome. Good for you. But the reason I push people against going all in like that is because if anything happens, if anything goes wrong, it's crypto, and I would rather be diversified so I can sleep at night. Because even if I put all my coins into my favorite project, things do go wrong, things do go bad, and you have to account for that. So I am completely against the all-in mentality. I think it could be a rookie move, but it does work sometimes, and I'm glad it worked for you. I just wouldn't want anyone to put a meaningful amount of money into one thing and have that one thing go bad. But if you spread out into 10 things and one thing goes bad, well, guess what? You're still going to be relatively okay. And that's the point to 8 to 12 picks has been my sweet spot. That has been how I looked at it. But of course, it's not about getting all the juice out of the fruit you can squeeze. It's about having just enough juice that you're trying to measure. You're trying to achieve your goal. I think the problem with people in crypto is that they don't have a goal. They don't know what they want. So they just want more. And then it's never enough. And then they ride it to the bottom. So I'm really big on setting goals and sticking to them. That's the best way to take profits. If you hit your goal, get the fuck out. And for my guy here, John Raji, 200K with this bag. That's an achievable goal with that bag. Solid portfolio, high likelihood of achieving that goal. I'm going to give you a 90. Tom O'Brien, 150K, looking for a 3x. HBAR, ETH, ADA, Bitcoin, Algo, Render, Solana, Vet, the Graph, Prime, Bonk, Jasmine. Yeah, I don't know if Ethereum or Bitcoin are going to 3x from here, from this point in time. You're asking for so basically you need to align your coin selection with your goals. Your coin selection has to be aligned with your goals. Every coin in your bag needs to be able to do what your goal is. So if your goal is a 4x, everything in your bag needs to be able to 4x. And your example is a 3x. Do I think Ethereum can 3x from this point right now? I think it could, but I'm not very confident. Do I think Bitcoin, this bull run, can 3x from this point right now? No, I don't. And Ethereum's 12%, Bitcoin's 9%. So 21% of your bag that you're trying to 3x might not 3x, which means the other 79% of your bag has to work overtime, which would be Hedera, which would be Algo, Render, Solana, Vet, the Graph, Prime, Bonk, Jasmine, all things that I think can 3x or more from here. I think it's going to be close, Tom. I think it's going to be close. If there was not Bitcoin and there was just Ethereum, I would give you a bigger score. At this point in the run, considering that Bitcoin's already 100,000, that it's just going to weigh you down. Yeah, man, I have to give you like a 72. I don't know. That's a tough one. TNet, anyone thinking about jumping into trading? Definitely listening. I've been out the group for 1 week. I've already made my money back with 2 posts from AJ. Thanks, AJ. Let's go. Shout out to my guy TNet. Two trades made that money back. That's what I like to hear. Good job. I actually just screenshotted every super chat and did not know that was there. So good surprise for me. Shout out to my homie TNet. Appreciate you, man. Keep going. Don't stop now. Don't rest on your laurels. You just got started, my friend. Eric Osborne, 60K portfolio, a lot of XRP, HBAR, ADA, Swiondo, Link, FET, Pyth, ETH, Render, 3x from here. Yeah. Well, is it a 2 or a 3? That actually matters, Eric. With that much XRP, is it a 2 or a 3? That matters. If it's a 2, I'm going to give you a high score above a 90. If it's a 3, I'm going to give you like an 81 to an 83. Also Sui, like is Sui going to 3x from here? I don't know, man. Sui is very hot. I think this is like a bag that already did really good that I might consider redistributing. That's just me. I don't hate it though. And I think for a 2x goal, I like it. 3x goal, I'm a little worried. Lewis B, Link 26, AVAX 12.16, Solana 9, Render 10. Ondo Sweet, looking for a 5. I don't hate it. I think that's a lot of Link. And one sec. That's a lot of Link, bro. And we're talking a 5x from right now. So want oh, 1 second. I'm doing some mess around math. Why isn't it giving me the yeah, that's a lot of Link, man. Wrong one. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't hate Link, but I don't think it's going to $170. Yeah, man, that's tough. This is probably the toughest one to grade out of all of them. I think I have to give you like an 80 or 79. I got to keep it rolling on this one. This might be one I come back to. I don't think so, dude. That we're asking 100 billion market cap for Link for that to happen. I not that I like the rest of your bag. It's kind of evenly distributed. You have pretty rock solid picks. You're missing a couple things, but that big chunk of Link is if it was half Link, half something else, we could have an argument. But that I don't know, man. TNet 4 or 5x from here, 500k, 20 coins. Oh God. Ondo Fets, I'm just gonna read this to myself. TNet, I hope I have to run here because I have to do a space, but I want you to know that you have a big responsibility with this portfolio. This is not an easy portfolio to manage. I hope you have a lot of alarms set. I think maybe you should talk to the second channel in the Telegram group and ask them, hey, how do you guys think I should go about this? How do I set a goal and an alarm and scenarios for each coin you have? I think this, unless you're a professional trader and all you have time on your hands to do is to do crypto, unless you're that guy, if you're a busy person with a full-time job and kids, I would not say having 20 coins is a good idea. I don't know if you'll be able to give the portfolio the attention it needs. I'm not saying this to beat you up. I'm saying this because I care and I don't want to see you misplay this portfolio. I want to see you nail this. Okay. So I think a 4 to 5x is possible. It's just a lot to manage. You know, I think it's possible. It's just a lot to manage. So I want to give you like a 75, not because I think it's impossible, but because you need to play it right. Too many coins, way too many coins. And there's, you're gonna, that's a tough call, man. It's a tough call. I think it's possible though. Mr. L, I still fit you in 12K portfolio, looking for an 8X from here. Ondo, Arrow, VeChain, Quant, Render, Alphium, Ether, Moonwell, Drift. I think an 8x from this point is a lot. Like a lot. So even Ondo, for example, for Ondo to 10x, that would require actually doesn't seem that crazy, does it? will we see a $20, $18 Ondo? I think that's kind of, I mean, that's, you're leading with that. I think Arrow has that kind of ability. I think VeChain has that kind of ability. I don't know if Quant's going to $800. I don't know if Render's going to $80, and I don't really care about the rest of the bag. I think you're asking for too much, Mr. L. I think you're asking for too much. I think you should temper your expectations. I think your goal is too high, and that's the problem with a lot of people. A lot of people just want more. And if you have an 8x goal, okay, but I still think you need to run through a couple scenarios. So if these bags 5x and that's the top and it starts to turn around, you need to have a backup parachute, pull the string strategy. I don't know what that looks like for alarms. I don't know what that looks like for coin to coin, but you need to have a backup plan in the event Ondo doesn't go to $18. I don't hate the bag. I don't hate the distribution. I just think your goal is too high. I will always be completely flat out honest with you guys about that. So I got to refresh my chat here on my laptop. This thing's actually shot. All right. Well, my laptop froze. So that's great. Well, everybody, I got to go. I got a space in 3 minutes. So everyone had a safe rest of your day. I'm sorry if I can't see the chat right now. If there's anything important in the chat, can one of my mods who's also in the Telegram group screenshot it and DM it to me on Telegram if I'm missing it. I'm sorry I can't see it. My laptop is frozen and I have to go. I went way over, but that's okay. I want to hang out with you guys. Want to do a solid Raymond portfolio. Appreciate each and every one of you. I'm not I think we're going to do a normal live stream tomorrow and a members only, but if we end up only doing a members only, this is your heads up. Definitely check in the morning to see if we're doing both. Not sure with everything else I have going on, but I am going to try to do both tomorrow. My intent is to do both, but if not, at the very least, there will be a members only tomorrow at 2 p.m. So that's it, everybody. Have a safe rest of your day. I appreciate you all. Get rich or get wrecked. Later.